Alrighty, y'all. I am so sorry. Obviously, I had a meeting, which is why I'm not here with you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask Miss Frost, but make sure you are showing her this video as well. That way she can know what you're talking about. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to distribute. So, obviously, when I flip an inequality, if x is negative. Yes, we are going to be flipping today. Please try to remember not to yell too loud, okay? All right, so we're going to distribute as well. This was talked about a little bit last year, so I have a great way to explain it. So I want you to think about your 2 as Santa. When Santa gives presents, he wants to give presents to everybody in the room. So that means we're going to do 2 times x and 2 times 4. So I have 2 times 4, that's 8. That means that's how that works. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. Negative 3 times x. That's just negative 3 times 1, which is just a negative 3x. And then negative 3 times negative 2, and negative times negative is a positive, which means I'm going to do plus 2. Remember to pause the video if you need to and as you want to. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to do 2 times x, which is just 2 times 1, and then 2 times negative 7. So I have 2x, 2 x's, minus 2 times 7, so 2 sevens is 14. And this equals a negative 15. So my first step is, step 1, draw my line. Step 2, box my variable. Step 3, find out what's going on next to my box. Do the opposite. So if I have a negative 14, subtracting 14, I'm going to add 14. I do it to both sides. I'm only dropping the box. The box drops. So I'm left with 2x because that zeros. Same signs, add the 2. These are not the same. So different signs, subtract the 2. My big one wins the game. From here, I'm multiplying. So I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by my coefficient, which is 2. This is negative 1/2. So x is equal to negative 1/2. It is equal, so I'm going to go halfway to negative 1. I'm going to put a nice little dot because this right here is negative 1/2. All right. Next one over. 3 times 2, 6. 3 times g. I put my subtraction sign in because there's no subtraction signs in either or. 3g is greater than 0. So I'm going to draw my line. And I see, I'm going to box my variable. My variable is negative. So we're going to call out flips. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, call out flip. The sign flips. So I'm going to subtract. Negative 3g, because that zeros. Negative 6. And I may need to move my flipped sign down just a little bit because I didn't realize I was going to take that lovely big. It is still flipped over because I'm going to divide it by my negative 3, which causes my g to go to a positive 2. So remember I was telling you the other day, and probably since, if g is more, I shade right. So I do not have a line, so I do not know an exact location. G is less, so I shade left. G is less, I shade left. Because remember, my subtraction is less, and my positive is greater. My G is less, so I shade left. All right. I know we've done some practice with these, so I'm going to go ahead and skip this one. I'm going to go ahead and go to here. I'm going to draw my line. Boxing my variable. All right, sorry, I ended up having to pause, so if that sounded weird, that's why. So I'm going to do the opposite of what I see next to my box, which is subtract 1.3. I'm going to do both to both sides. These zero out. I'm left with an eighth of W is equal to 0.4. Now, obviously, I would divide by my 1/8, which is keep, change, flip. So I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. That's what these lovely little blanks are right here. Multiply by reciprocal. If you need to think of it as you're dividing each side by 1/8 and then you keep, change, flip, you're welcome to think that. I don't have a problem with that a bit. So I'm left with W is equal to, I'm going to do 0.4 times 8, which is 32. I have one decimal here, which means I need one decimal there, so it becomes 3.2. It's an exact location, so I just go ahead and fill it in. All right, keeping going. Yep, we're going to do a few of these. Negative times a positive, negative 4k. Negative times a negative, that becomes a positive, and that'd be 12. Draw my line, box my variable. What do y'all see? 3, 2, 1, flip. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 12, subtract 12. I'm left with a negative 4k is equal to 0. Divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4. Obviously, my k is going to be greater than 0, so I'm going to mark my nice little number line. It's an open circle because it's not equal, and it's greater, so I'm going to shade right towards my plus sign. My plus sign is always greater than my negative. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do one more. First step, draw my line. Box my variable. Remember, I'm only boxing the variable, not the stuff behind it. I do the opposite of what I see next to it. These are opposite signs, so box drops. Different signs, I subtract. 24 minus 12 is 12. My 24 is bigger, so my sign's positive. I divide both sides by 3/4, which means I'm multiplying by the flipped version. By the way, 12 divided by 3/4, keep, change, flip, 12 times 4/3. Multiply by the top, which is equal to 48 divided by 3. 48 divided by 3. That subtract once, so it's 3. I have 18, so 16. So x is greater than or equal to 16. So I find 16 because it could be equal. I'm dropping my pen. I'm marking my number line. It says x is greater, which means x is bigger, so it goes towards the positive. I should hopefully be back in soon. If you need any help at all, make sure you are asking Miss Frost. If not, I'll be in shortly to answer any questions y'all have. So be marking your questions, and I'll see you soon.